The practice of commoditizing marriage through a bride price to be paid by the Chinese groom has grown to incredible proportions in recent years, especially in the rural areas of China. Untenable financial burdens aside, this practice is not doing women's push for gender equality any favors. Deeply influenced by Confucian patriarchal beliefs, heterosexual marriage is regarded as the primary means to start a family and reproduce offspring. The bride price, therefore, lies at the heart of understanding marriage and family in Chinese society. Bride price has a long history in China. It has been one of the most important marriage customs in ancient China since the Western Zhou dynasty. Bride price is increasingly recognized as a serious, nationwide public social concern in contemporary mainland China. In June 2013, a national bride price map was first issued in Sina Microblog, an important WeMedia channel in China. According to the map, the highest bride price then was paid in Shanghai, consisting of a house and 100,000 renminbi, about 20,000 Singapore dollars. In Heilongjiang Province, Jilin Province, Liaoning Province, Jiangxi Province, and Qinghai Province, the bride price was about 500,000 renminbi, about 100,000 Singapore dollars. Shandong Province, Hunan Province, and Zhejiang Province had a 100,000 renminbi bride price rate in general. The average bride price is relatively high compared to the annual per capita gross income of Chinese citizens. So today, let's take a look how much you need to pay in order to get married with a Chinese woman.
嗨，你知道娶个广东中山的女人做老婆，彩礼需要多少吗？
Do you know how much the bride price is for marrying a woman from Zhongshan, Guangdong? 30,000 is enough. Yeah, women from Guangdong are really great. They are gentle, virtuous, and good at managing the household. After marriage, they can also earn money. It's not just about supporting the family, it's about supporting themselves. At least they won't be a burden to men. They give men enough face. Men are the head of the family, after all. Where can you find such high-value women?
知道在我们浙江这边娶个媳妇要多少钱的彩礼吗？今天呀，我就给你们来算一算啊，就拿我自己来说。
Today, I'm going to calculate how much the bride price is to marry a wife here in Zhejiang for you. Let's take my own experience as an example. My husband and I fell in love freely, and we were also college classmates. After dating for over a year, we got married. Both of our families come from a typical rural background. My husband is an only child. When we got married, we didn't really focus on a lot of customs. We just followed the local traditions of our respective areas. As for the bride price, my family said that as long as the couple lives well together in the future, the bride price is just for show. It's actually for the young couple. My father-in-law is also very understanding, and we agreed on a bride price of 100,000 yuan. To be honest, I think we really need to empathize with each other regarding bride prices. Their family is also an ordinary rural family. Which parents really have that much capability? If parents have to borrow money to help you get married, then won't the couple have to pay back that debt after marriage? If parents do have some money and they agree to give it, that's fine. But if they don't have money, it feels like taking half their lives. I think getting married isn't just a monetary transaction. As long as the couple has a good relationship and works hard together, they can truly have everything. There's really no need to make things too difficult for the elders. I remember shortly after we got married, a close friend said to me, "You're married now. Even if life isn't great right now, I still believe our future is promising." I always believe that as long as the couple is united, there's no difficulty they can't overcome. Some issues are really just temporary. What I really want to say is whether a marriage is happy or not has nothing to do with the bride price. It mainly depends on whether both people's hearts are in the same place.
你知道在我们宁夏娶个媳妇要多少彩礼吗？我今天就给你算一算，就拿我自己来说吧。
Do you know how much a bride price is in Ningxia? Let me calculate it for you today. Take me as an example. I was introduced to my husband by a friend. We had a flash marriage. We got married just 2 months after we met. My husband doesn't have a formal job. My parents said they didn't care much about that. They just wanted to make sure he was a good person and I wouldn't suffer any injustice. We empathized with each other, and later, my mother-in-law sent over a bride price of 120,000 yuan. This is the custom here. I have 2 sisters. My parents actually didn't want me to be at a disadvantage compared to others, and they didn't want me to be wronged. To be honest, in our area, bride prices vary widely. There are those at 68,000, 88,000, 100,000, 120,000, 160,000, and 180,000 yuan. After getting married, I've always wondered why some people ask for exorbitant bride prices. They also expect the other party to buy a car and a house. By our standards, the average price per square meter is about 4,000 yuan. So, to buy a house, you'd need at least 500,000 or 600,000 yuan. Then, even the cheapest car costs over 100,000 yuan. And don't forget about renovations, which we can estimate at about 100,000 yuan. If we take an average number and say 100,000 yuan, just for that we're already looking at 1 million. Plus, we need to think about wedding photos, wedding car, banquet, and other miscellaneous expenses. Altogether, have you ever thought that getting a bride would cost at least 1 million yuan? Can you do it with less than that? I remember not long after I got married, a childhood friend of mine asked me, "Hey, you've been married for a while, and you're still living with your in-laws. You don't even have your own home. If anything changes after marriage, you won't have time to cry." I told him that since I chose him, I would face whatever happens in the future and live well with him. Who gets married thinking about divorce? Later, my husband and I slowly worked hard, and now we have a house, a car, and we've had 2 kids. Although life is still tight, I still believe our future is promising. I've always believed that as long as a couple works together, there's no difficulty they can't overcome. What I really want to say is, whether a marriage is happy or not has nothing to do with bride price. It mainly depends on how good the couple's feelings for each other are.
The bride price across the country should learn from Weihai. How much is the bride price in your hometown? In Weihai, the bride price is around 10,000 with a maximum of 30,000. The most important thing is that the return gift will definitely be higher than the bride price. We bring a car and all household appliances as bride price. If you're lucky, your mother-in-law might even prepare a house for you. Besides, the girls in Weihai are beautiful and kind-hearted, and they can endure hardships. So single young men, hurry up and come to Weihai. Go to those popular confession spots and take a stroll. If you see someone's aunt, just call her mother-in-law. If you spot a pretty girl, don't hesitate to confess.
你知道我们山西娶个媳妇儿要多少彩礼吗？我今天来给大家算一算。
Do you know how much bride price we pay for a wife in Shaanxi? Let's take my own case as an example. My husband and I met through an introduction. We only met 4 times before deciding to get married. When my husband asked me about the bride price, I asked my mom. She said as long as you're happy, the bride price is just a formality. But at that time, my in-laws gave a bride price of 130,000, and my mom also gave the same amount as dowry. To be honest, here, bride prices can be 80,000, 100,000, or even 200,000. But now some people ask for sky-high prices. I don't know what they're thinking. Just like my husband's rural family, how much can they earn in a lifetime? If they don't have enough and have to borrow money, who will pay off that debt after marriage? In some families, there are 2 brothers, and it's really crazy. I believe getting married isn't a business deal. As long as the couple has a good relationship and they work together for their family, things will definitely get better. There's really no need to put pressure on the parents. Also, I think happiness in marriage doesn't have much to do with the bride price.
What do you think about the bride price in China? In a modern society where money talks, individuals tend to support themselves. Most self-supportive Chinese women don't buy the traditional myth that women should marry well rather than do well in their careers. The state may worry about high bride price now, but it will soon find that women won't be priced anymore in the future because of their increasing labor value. Soon, women's voices will be heard despite the prevailing patriarchal ideologies. What we need is gender equality, not the so-called position of privilege of being the fairer sex.